Welcome everybody to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA Series finale for Season 7 at Daytona. I'm joined today by Kirby. How are you doing, Kirby?
I'm doing well. In the immortal words of Toshihiro Nagoshi, excuse me, do 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 Daytona. Yeah, this is very sketchy conditions. It's going to rain at the start of the race, I believe, based on when that the schedule forecast is scheduled. There we go. And then it's going to be dry. So the track is going to be drying, but it's iRacing, so it takes forever to actually dry out. And then you've got a case where your track is going to be moist, and you have to haul a car around it on potentially dry tyres. And Daytona's not known for being a slow track, you know? So it is going to be very dangerous if you're the first person to put on the slicks and you come in a lap early.
Oh, Fault goes up to PT there with a 152.5. Puts himself quite a big chunk, about over a tenth and a half ahead of Daniel Morphy and Matteo Patali, who currently line up in P4 and P5. Yeah, a couple of guys improving. Adam Jarvis is one of them. I believe he's going to be the first car to take the checkered flag of the bunch still out on track. And he does improve, but doesn't improve his standing in the board. So he will start 8th in the race. Lowest placed pro driver as it stands. I hope he's been working on his race pace a little bit more. Instead, Matteo Lemro is still circulating around. He'll be pleased to be quicker than Dave Van Eck as it stands, and he will be quicker than Dave Van Eck, so won't be the last car on the grid. Doesn't improve on this run though, 3 times off what he's previously managed. And Senna Botkoven, who was part of that brilliant fight we saw last week out, and currently sits second in AM, so we'll take home some nice points. Looking to see where he can slot on the grid for today's event. Currently P7, see if he can get on ahead of his rival, and he does. Highest place AM driver position for Senna Botkoven then. Jeffrey Ross, I believe, recently joined DLR, might also be able to his teammate out, but Jeffrey Ross, perhaps more so than the other guys, is still fighting for... and it's a spin in turn 1 for Albert Preem. Will not be the start to the day that he wanted.
Caminero yet to set a time, which is important.
Preem, though, with that half spin at turn 1 last time round, and he does it again through turn 1, drifting, goes to the front of the field. Avale gets within a 10th, but he was 3 times clear of what Verdonk managed last time. No, Eloy Caballero in the title fight goes to pole position by 3.5 tenths to his rival Albert Preem. If qualifying continues this way, we're on for a banging race if these two manage to hold it at the front of the grid. Donk about to take the checkered, the finished line, and he does move up to P2. And has a bit of a moment in turn 1 as Avale goes to P1, and his teammate beats him once again to P1 by a very similar margin to what he did last time.
Gutierrez has just parked it.
Preem goes to provisional pole position with a pretty impressive final sector, 3 greens, 1 purple and a yellow. Davy van der Wacker beats him with 1 yellow and 4 purples to go to a 38.342. That puts him 1/10 clear of his teammate, and right now Eloy Caballero has been pushed down to P5. I think if the race were to run like this, Davy van der Wacker would move aside for his teammate to guarantee the title for Albert Preem. But lots to play for as it stands. Matthias Weiten improves, but I believe stays where he was in P4. So only 200ths off of Quinton Verdonk now. Not much improvement as they go round, but as we've just seen, you can have an all-yellow lap and 1 good sector, and that puts you back to the front.
3 yellows, 1 green. He's got the slingshot coming into the sector 4, gets a massive purple in the final sector, moves up, but not that much, only P3 as it stands, and I don't think, unless he brings it all the way around the track, he's very deep through turn 1, I think he has to tow there. I don't think he's got time to get the car out and do an outlap. I think his qualifying is done, actually. It's all to play for in this final round at Daytona. Yeah, 90 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
Eloy Caballero, if he wants to beat his championship rival into turn 1, is going to have to go round the outside in the rain. Very risky. But Davy van der Wacker, ahead of both of his drivers, is obviously a teammate of Albert Preem. So let's see how this all plays out going into turn 1. Start zone then.
Here we go then.
Go on.
Green flag flies for the final race of the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's a good breakaway by Quinton Verdonk. He's got no competition in turn 1. Preem sneaks it down the inside, will take P2 away from Van der Wacker. Charge now into the horse. Oh, did Preem get tagged
Preem
there
got
by
loose,
Van der
hit
Wacker?
the wall.
Wacker goes off.
Wacker needs to get on.
it's all
No. Oh, this is so close. Matthias Buyten now is ahead of Albert Preem. Both of them got ahead of Eloy Cavanieri into turn 1. It was a dream start for Albert Preem. He had his 2 teammates between himself and Eloy, and they've led him back through. Masterful work here from DLR. So Albert Preem currently sits P2 as his 2 teammates behind defend into the horseshoe. And Eloy Cavanieri has dropped down to 5th place. That's crucial. The GT3s are in turn 1. Apologies, we've missed that. They've all slotted through rather nicely out front. No big issues for anyone. Apart from Albert Preem, who's off. Albert Preem's gone off, and he's now behind Eloy Cavanieri in these super wet conditions. And he's now had to be passed by Eloy's teammate as well. That's Juan Telavale going down the inside through the banking. Let's take a look at what happened to Albert Preem.
He had such a good launch through turn 1 and he got tagged. I'm not sure what happened there. I believe this has got to be a self-incident in turn 7 because he's got no competition around him. He's obviously got teammates helping out. Oh, there's more incidents in the GT3. We'll get to those as Preem goes sideways into turn 7.
Buyten is off as well, and Preem's off again.
What is going on? The rain has caught everybody by surprise. Nobody has grip anywhere.
Super wet out on track. Matthias Buyten now behind Albert Preem. Matthias Buyten dropping back even more. I think there's big damage on that Porsche. Quinton Verdonk sets the fastest lap and it's now 3 seconds clear of Davy Van der Wacker in P2. So it was a dream start for Albert Preem, but it's gone very wrong very quickly. Turn 1 was perfect for DLR, but it's gone very wrong very quickly. We've seen how anything can happen though, so it's definitely not over till it's over. Crucially, though, I believe Daniel Morphy has dropped down the order and Matteo Batali is now off as well. So it's looking really good for Oriol Falk in the GT3 Pro category as his rivals are tumbling down the order quite quickly. This is what happened to Morphy. Oh, is he going to aquaplane? No. Oh, yeah. Locked up the rear on the brakes, yeah, when he was going for a big puddle. Loses the bumper, but is driving away, dragging something along momentarily.
Don't seem to have any grip anywhere right now.
This is Albert Preem picking up his meatball, and it's out of turn 2, and he's just going to slide
not
into the
stopping.
wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Bang. And now the GTPs caught GT3s, and we got ourselves
Davy Van der Wacker goes round the outside of it, 3 wide through turn 1. Verdonk has to back out. Van der Wacker keeps his foot in and takes the lead into turn 1 of GTP as they approach the first round of traffic.
But I remember the last wet race I remember watching in this series was at Le Mans. And that race was supposed to dry out. As a huge dive bomb into turn 1. Jarvis trying to pick at the inside, gets the car.
It's the leaders approach as well.
They're going to have to wait right now because there's 2 GT3s in front of you side by side. Jarvis slides up in front. The GTPs should take the outside away from Van Eck, and he's just going to get pinned in here. Jarvis has managed to steal that position and get away with it. Again, everyone looking to make 3 scheduled stops today. Whether people do more is a question of how bad does the racing go for them. As Villarejo dives the inside. That is a corner where you don't need to be alongside, and you can just send it in deep if you get the outbreak, because you do come to a near complete stop for that hairpin.
I believe he's going to keep this position as well as the GTP of Albert Preem arrives on scene at just the right time.
See what happens to Seneba Coven.
On his way past Adam Jarvis here, he's now moved up into P6 overall, and currently runs 2nd place in AM.
Looks to the inside, does Verdonk, gets alongside on the braking actually, sends it in very deep, gets given the space, slides it in front, can't complete the slide on exit, but gets enough power down that Verdonk has just taken the lead of this race.
Carlos Villarejo down the inside of Adam Jarvis into the 2nd horseshoe, and they're going to run side by side on the exit, but Villarejo has the traction to pull away. Dave Van der Wacker has taken the lead because Quinton Verdonk has gone off track on the infield. Let's take a quick look at how that happened.
Because he comes up to this race and I thought he got in a bit hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just I thought he got it stopped on the outside line, but obviously there's no grip there. It's been wet. No one's running out there. So he goes straight off the track, and Van der Acker comes clean through.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's his teammate as well in GT3 IMSA Rescues, so that did not go very well for those two. He's gaining quite quickly on the run into the bus stop. Sorry, to run into turn 1.
You could stop a bus into turn 1, I think, as Verdonk should dive to the inside if he wants the... he's going for it. That's a very deep move, all the way from the back, pulls alongside an entry, has the apex, has the run. Looks like it's just another brilliant move by Verdonk, who just seems like... I don't think Van der Acker expected that at all. It was from so far back. Catches the actual driver off guard, and Verdonk just sends it down the inside and makes it stick. But they're going to catch in the bus stop. This could be dangerous for one of these drivers, actually. I couldn't tell you which at this stage, because it all depends on how and when they catch, but here we go then, into the bus stop.
Off the track for Verdonk. That's going to be a slowdown. It is. Verdonk has a filled black flag. He will have to slow down and let Davy van der Acker through, and this could impact him even more because Matthias Weiten is going to come on the back of him. He's still serving that slowdown, I can tell you now, so he's still got time to give up. Still giving up time, not cleared it just yet, so he's losing more and more time. He's 6 times behind the now leader Davy van der Acker and less than a second ahead of Matthias Weiten. He has now cleared that flag, but he's going to get caught behind the GT3 in turn 1, and no, he slots it up the inside, which Matthias Weiten can't do, so he's going to live to fight at least another lap.
I don't know. You have to go around the outside of Daytona, and that's not an easy thing to do. That is a very deep inside. Oh, they're going to the pit lane.
But this is Matisse's job to make sure he comes in safely, and he does get away with it. We're pointing out then, Quinten Verdonk was the only one that was jacked up, and he's actually going to lose a place to Matthias Weiten. He's going to beat him out of the pit lane. Quinten Verdonk 3 seconds slower on the outlap than his rivals, though, although he does have to do a little bit of work to get these tyres up to temperature. He's in the wall and turn 1 for Quinten Verdonk. Gets it flicked around. He's going to tumble down the order here. Has anyone else gambled for dries in GTP? It doesn't look like it. Michael Kellenberger, who was running so well in the AM category, is surely going to have thrown this away. No further action for Matthias Weiten for not following the briefing note, so race control happy with what he did in turn 1. That's a meatball for Quinten Verdonk, and he's towed to the pit lane there. Disaster for Quinten Verdonk. Matthias Weiten round the outside in turn 1 of Davy van der Acker. They're side by side through the braking zone, deep for Matthias Weiten. He can't make it work, and Davy van der Acker retains the lead in turn 1.
We'll go to the outside, but again, outside of turn 1 Daytona, not necessarily where you want to be, especially on this track condition. Can he get clear on entry? No, he can't, because Van der Acker gets very deep on the brakes, forces the Dutch League Racing driver all the way to the outside, and yeah, they'll just slip back into line 1 and 2. I can't use Dutch League Racing driver because they're actually both in that team. Just one of them's running the colours as... Oh! Weiten tries to pick the inside. A little bit late to make that move. Has to get the car really slowed up there. He's going to dive to the outside of the flick here. Not going to get a position.
No, that will put his teammate offline, and that's going to give him the inside into the second horseshoe. Oh, and Michael Kellenberger on the dry tyres isn't going to want to give up his line. As neither of them can find a way past. Davy van der Acker going to go down the inside. Into the back of Kellenberger goes Matthias Weiten. Now straight under investigation as race control clearly following the same battle that we are right now. Matthias will know that he's got that 5-second penalty, so if he gets a 5 or 10-second time penalty for that incident with Kellenberger, that he needs to get a move on as quickly as possible.
He's got to run here, but he's going to have to look around the outside of turn 7, which is really practicing, but gets his shoulders out.
Under investigation by race control. Once again, straight away, with no hesitation from the two of them.
Van der Acker, though, I don't think he's going to be paying attention to this race control. Have called that
down the inside, Matthias Weiten.
No!
The nerves clearly getting to him after that 10-second time penalty. Shoves his teammate out the way. He's got 5 minutes, so there'll be about 3 laps to try and pull a 10-second advantage on his teammate. That would be extremely impressive. Tell you what, Kellenberger's brought that gap down incredibly. That was 8 seconds just 3 or 4 laps ago. It's now 1.8 seconds as well. He was 4 seconds quicker than them on the last lap on the dry tyres. He's 4 seconds off the lead right now.
But is there enough grip in the track to actually make a pass? If you're going to do it, you need to do it this lap, because this is the only lap you have. Falk gets close.
Look how much that gap's come down in just 2 corners. I think he can get up to P2 here once again. I don't know if he can get onto the into the win. Well, I don't know if he can get onto the top step of the podium, and then it's going to get all messy with the GTPs, and that's Oriel Fault down the inside of Ignis Vincereskis, who's got Jeffrey Ross and Eloy Caballero going around the outside. That gap's only 2 tenths. What has happened in these last few laps is everyone closes up. Mateusz Vajten wins the final race of the season on track, but the win will go to Davy van der Vacker after Mateusz Vajten is handed his 10-second time penalty. Vincereskis is going to keep the lead. Well, not the lead, but P2 into the bus stop. Kellenberg is a little bit further back. He dropped back after all of that chaos on the entry to the tri-oval. Not the tri-oval, the oval. Vincereskis is going to have a run here, surely. No, sorry, getting mixed up here. Oriel Falk is going to have a run. He's 1/10 back. And Michael Kellenberger is a little bit too far back. One more lap and Kellenberger probably could have won this race. To the line, side by side. Falk gets a position by 300ths of a second to Vincereskis. He's now dropped down to P3. That can definitely affect where Vincereskis finish in the standings.
All Vincereskis needed to do was pin it to the yellow line. He drifts up the track. I don't know if he just didn't have the grip in the tyres or not. And Falk gets P2 from out of nowhere.
Kellenberger, your winner in GT3 AM, takes the fastest lap of the race in GT3 by some margin to the other cars. At the end of the race as well, Quinton Verdonk was 4 seconds quicker than everyone else out on track. The drives were great. Race control confirming that Oriel Falk is your GT3 Pro champion. Dave Van Eck is your GT3 AM champion. And I believe Eloy Caballero will be your GTP champion. Only finishing P5 in today's race, but ahead of Preem, that's all he needed to do. Those were the only two in the fight. Falk celebrates with his teammate. Preem congratulates Eloy on the championship. Don't think Eloy's won a championship here before. Don't think Oriel Falk's won a championship here before. And I don't think Dave Van Eck has either. So congratulations to 3 new champions in the Still Racing IMSA series. That was a chaotic race. There was some concern with 90 minutes that the drivers would be a little bit too spaced out. But no, they've both all done an incredible, incredible job. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next season.